I had a massive love for Pokemon when I was a kid. I loved playing the games, watching the shows, and also playing with the cards, which led me to robbing a store filled with them. I was around 11 years old when my Pokemon addiction reached new heights. I was addicted to playing the games, especially Pokemon Go and Pokemon Duel, which y'all know about that Pokemon Duel. That shit was a banger back in the day. I also would create Pokemon accounts using my parents' phone number and would often sneak into their bedroom and grab their phones while they were preoccupied with either making food or helping out my other siblings out. I would use their phone number and type it into the game and get the pin from their phone. I cherished those memories a lot, and I also cherished when I used to play Pokemon X and Y on my 2DS back in the day, because I used to be a fiend on that as well. Saturday mornings were a very good particular time, especially when it was 9 a.m., because then I would literally wake up so early with cereal in my hand, sitting on my living room floor, and I would watch the X and Y episodes on Cartoon Network. I also loved collecting Pokemon cards, and I had a massive ass deck of Pokemon cards with the big rubber band around it just to prove it, just like your favorite ATL artist in music videos. But one major problem I had was that my parents did not buy anything unless it was a holiday or your birthday. All right, now that we have the inside information out the way, this story took place in a cold Wednesday in February. I was with my mom going to Target, and she was picking out clothes for her, and I were picking out clothes for me and my rest of my siblings for the upcoming spring season. And while she was picking out clothes, my eyes began to focus on other things in the store. While she was over by the clothes aisle, I was right across from her, over by the wall of Pokemon cards, and I was just sitting there admiring the wall of different boxes and different packs of Pokemon cards with all the different legendaries and all the glittering and the sparkling Pokemon cards. So I began to think, I really want a new pack of Pokemon cards to take to school tomorrow to show to my friends, because, you know, it'd be dope if I pulled a legendary card out of one of the Pokemon packs, right? So I started to look around and see if I could find any cameras or any like people around, and I didn't see my mother. I didn't see like the employees or anything. I began to look up and check to see if there was any cameras looking down at me or if any black circles over across the thing. So once I saw that the coast was clear, I reached up all the way up and I gently began to peel off one of the Pokemon cards off the shelf, and I just stuffed it in my pocket, my coat pocket. Once I did that, I looked around. I kept looking around, nervous as ever. My eyes began to wander like it was nothing I've seen before. So I walk back over to my mother like I just didn't steal, making it no big deal or nothing. Us being over by the clothes section, she wanted to walk down towards the vitamin aisle, and that's when shit got wicked. As we began walking over towards the vitamin section, in the corner of my eye, I could see 3 Target employees, the head of security and the 2 other Target employees, looking around the Pokemon section, trying to find somebody. And out of nowhere, they pointed towards me, and all 3 of them started walking towards us as we were going to the vitamin section. So once we get into the aisle, my mother's distracted by getting vitamins for, me and my other siblings for the next week or two. And 3 seconds later, the head of security and the 2 Target employees approached us at the beginning of the aisle, and the security guy asked my mother, they had just caught someone stealing Pokemon cards in the Pokemon section just a couple of minutes ago, and that they were looking for the perpetrator. So I was one of the possible suspects for this theft. So then she turns to me. So then the security guard asks her if your son had some Pokemon cards on it, because we just caught somebody stealing, right? So then she turns to me and asks me the same exact question, and with my eyes widening bigger than it ever has before, and with all eyes on me, like I was throwing up the West Coast sign and had the Death Row Records chain in my hand, I was in a whirlwind of trouble if I pulled out that pack of cards. Hoping to avoid trouble, I said yes. So then I reach into my coat pocket and slowly pull out the Pokemon cards. But to their surprise, it wasn't the Pokemon cards that they were hoping to get. It was my big fat money stack of Pokemon cards that I had collected over the past couple of months. So then they proceed to ask me to reach into my other pocket. So I'm slowly going into my pocket, nervously rattling around, praying and hoping that they don't find it on me. I scoop out what was in my other pocket, and it was nothing but a bunch of pennies and quarters. And I
want a quarter,
gave me the
old nigga?
biggest sigh of relief I ever had, bro. And then the two Target employees apologized to my mother for, accusing your son of, stealing or whatever. And they walked away, except for the fact that the security guard didn't apologize and just kept staring at me the entire time. So my mother goes on, me and my mother, we go on, we keep walking around the aisle. And as we're walking around the aisle looking for vitamins, she gives me the whole spiel about how, I shouldn't have brought my Pokemon cards in there and how black people are always getting charged for stealing stuff. Usual black people combos. The vitamins aisle, and we go over to the cleaning aisle. I start to see the security guard again. And this time, only that before he looked pretty mild-tamed. Now he looks
ready to put my eyes in juvie.
He looks mad as shit. And he's walking behind us, heavy stomping. Boom, 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 boom. He's just following behind us. And we go down a little further down, and we go into the cleaning supplies. And as we're in the cleaning supplies, my mother's looking at cleaning items for later. And this guy is all the way down the other end, stalking us as like a bird watching its prey. And this guy, when I turned around, I went to look around at other supplies. I turned around, I made straight lock contact with this nigga's eyes. And in his eye, you could see was a look that I've never gotten before. It was that, I know you fucking did it, nigga. I'm gonna find out eventually, look, right? And he didn't say anything. He just kept staring at me the entire time. So I turn around, frightened as ever, like, bro, shaking down my spine, bro. I was nervous, to be the least. So then I turn around and I just ignore him. We walk out that aisle in the next 5 to 10 seconds. She was only in there for a long minute. So we go to the front to check out. And as we were going to the front to check out, I would think that the security guard would still be following us. But no, I never saw him ever again. He just vanished. And to this day, I've never stolen from there ever again.